So let's talk about Bard and the very first scene that he has in this film, which is pretty impressive. What did you think when you read that in the script?
I thought it was awesome, yeah. I loved every minute of it because it's a very famous point in the, it's his introduction. Everybody's introduction is always exciting, but I loved Bard's introduction. It's very, very cool, Do that again and you're dead. I loved that line. It's great.
It's kind of badass as far as entrances go in films. How would you compare it to some of the other great ones that you've seen?
Well, I think everybody gets a good entrance in this film. I mean, Orlando gets a really great entrance. Lee Pace gets a great entrance. We all have our moments. It's important. I did find out as well that Howard Shore, the composer, writes different music for different characters. And so when I come on the screen, very subtly you'll hear the music change to my theme. And so when you're seeing Bard on the screen or in Lake Town, apparently the music is just different.
That's a good thing to know before you go into the film. So next time I go and watch it,
you can listen out for that. Yeah.
So obviously people who know you know that you're in pretty good shape. Was there a special fitness though for this? And
no, not too much.
Probably nothing like the Immortals, right?
No.
The 8-pack.
No, nothing like the Immortals or the movie I've just finished, Dracula Untold. That was really insane. It was just about keeping fit enough to be able to do the stunts, and there's a lot of running around, and I was carrying a very heavy leather jacket, and also it was more about the stunts, and the weapon training was more important, I think, than having, a 6-pack or an 8-pack, as you say. I don't think anybody actually has 8-packs.
Did you do bow and arrow training with some of your co-stars?
I did, yeah.
Okay, what was that like, and who were you with?
Well, I was the only one using a longbow, obviously, because Bard uses a longbow. The dwarves have very short bow and arrows, and obviously Orlando and Evangeline have the elven bow and arrow. So we all had different weapons, but we were all pointing at the same target at the end of the room. So it was very fun. It became quite competitive at days.
I love that James Nesbitt's real-life daughters are in this. Can you talk about working with them? They play your little girls.
They play my little girls. Yeah. It was wonderful, and they're beautiful girls, and neither of them have ever acted before, which is extraordinary. And they went through the whole thing, they tested for Warner Brothers, and they got the job. And they didn't just do the roles, but they did a Welsh accent, which is not their accent.
Because they're from Northern Ireland.
They're from, no, Jeremy's from Northern Ireland. They were brought up in the UK, but they can do Northern Irish accents brilliantly. And obviously they can do Welsh accents brilliantly as well. I don't know where they're able to do that and how they're able to do it, but they did it. And then we have the lovely John Bell, who's also from Scotland, also doing an accent. These kids are insane, they're so talented.
What was it like to be able to do your accent in this film? Was this the first time you got to speak as yourself?
Yes, it was. I actually did one line as a Welsh accent person in the Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, which was my film I did with Andy Serkis many years ago. But obviously I don't really count that as a role because he only had like 2 lines. But it was lovely to bring the Welsh accent into The Hobbit, which will now be, it'll be immortalized in this film as, anybody from ancestors who are from Dale will have a Welsh accent. So I like that.
That's awesome. You have Stephen Fry is involved in your storyline. What was it like to work with him? Because he's got a bit of an attitude in this one, his character.
He's quite brilliant, isn't he? He's as much as he's an awful, corrupt dictator of a town, and he's allowing his people, just townsfolk, to basically just rot. There's something quite brilliant about him as well. He plays it so well. Stephen Fry is a fantastic actor.
Who got to keep that painting of him? There's a painting of him in the film.
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe Stephen has it up in his bathroom somewhere.
It would be appropriate, wouldn't it?
It would be great.